Hello everyone and welcome back to a brand new episode of NASCAR Heat 3 Career Mode. Unfortunately for this episode we did not have an intro. Jay was unfortunately not able to make one this time, so we didn't have one, but hopefully in the next episode he will be back to do an intro for us. But we have Bristol today, the high-banked short track where we actually got a win at last season in the Xfinity Series. I think the Cup race, it might be a little tougher round for us, but we come to qualifying and we made the last round in qualifying, and I usually do qualify pretty good here, and we came across the line and set a 17.056, and I was thinking we might as well try to do another one, but I got held up behind the two cars, so I decided to bail out of the lap, and you see we qualified third for Bristol.
Hello everyone and welcome to Bristol Motor Speedway in Bristol, Tennessee for the running of the Food City 500. This half-mile concrete oval is famous for its high-banking, stadium-like seating and all the beating and banging that goes on between the competitors. In fact, sometimes there are more fireworks during this race than on the 4th of July. But there's no room for hurt feelings or bruised egos today. All that matters to these drivers is winning this race. This is Bristol Motor Speedway, and this is NASCAR Racing on PRN.
All right, there you hear it, and we are ready to go green with Kurt Busch and Jimmy Johnson, who will lead the front row to green as our teammate Jimmy McMurray not having a good practice. Daniel Hemrick gave up his qualifying position for new fresh tires, so an interesting move by the 8 team. Will it come into effect? Absolutely not. But we are ready to go green here in Bristol behind the 48 of Jimmy Johnson as Kurt Busch leads us to green to start the race. He already has one win this season, and so does Jimmy Johnson, as they're just going to fight for extra playoff points now at this point in the season already, as we get close to the wall in turns 1 and 2 and already lose one position as Joey Logano. He is able to clear me down the back straightaway into turn 3 as we have Kevin Harvick on our back bumper now, who has Kyle Busch all over him now as they try to close the gap on myself as we've completed the first lap. Jimmy Johnson goes from second back to fourth as Clint Boyer and Joey Logano are able to get past him as we get really loose on the exit of turn 2, which is a pretty common thing at Bristol in NASCAR Heat 3 with that first black seam right there. You'll notice it really can get you loose on the exit of the corner, so we got to be pretty careful of that in this race as we got passed by Kyle Busch, and now Kevin Harvick, he goes alongside of my outside to make the pass as well as we go from P4 to P7 already early in this race now, as we do try to get to Harvick's inside here in turns 1 and 2 now, and we're going to go right up towards his door and try to get him close to the wall, but he does clear me with no problems at all out of turn 2 as Truex now tries to look to my inside. The 78 gets to my left rear quarter panel for the moment, for a brief moment, but we do clear him as we go into turns 1. He's going to get back to my inside, and he's probably going to be able to clear me here out of turn 2 as he goes by with no problems, as Clint Boyer now starts to fade backwards as well. So clearly, at this point, our car is not nearly as good as what it was in the qualifying sessions, and we come through to lap 13 now in stage 1. We dropped all the way back to 9th as we get onto the apron and hang on to it. But you see Joey Logano and Kyle Busch, they have fallen off a little bit, and now we have Eric Jones currently sitting behind me in P10 trying to get in to P9 to get an extra position for stage points, as we are just trying to get the extra points as well. I don't want to give up anything right now. You'll notice that the AI on the exit of the corners, you'll notice my mirror, Eric Jones, he'll like turn down towards the bottom of the straightaway and really lose a lot of speed. He did it again right there, which is a very weird thing that the AI do at this track, but not all of them do it, thankfully. But yeah, some of them will do it, and it really benefits myself, as at this point in the run, you'll notice we were actually closing in on Joey Logano and Truex, and we were really able to maintain pace with these guys. So we certainly kind of solidified myself as a top 10 car, as Eric Jones is able to get to my inside and makes a little bit of contact on the exit of turn 2 as we try to clear him into turns 3. Jones once again looks to my left side down the straightaway pretty even as we go into turns 1, and he has got the edge on me as he does clear me on the exit of turn 2. We have drifted back to P10 now, and we did get by him for a brief moment towards the end of the stage, but you see again he was able to get back by me with no problem as we approach 3 laps to go in stage 1, dealing with a lot of lapped cars at this point. We got Daniel Hemrick, who decided to take new tires and gave up his qualifying position. Clearly that's not working out for him, as he still runs mid-30s as we put him a lap down, as well as we try to pass Brendan Gaughan as we make a little bit of unnecessary contact down the straightaway, but we do clear him going into turns 3, and now coming out of turn 4, it'll be 2 laps to go in the stage as Jones continues to drive away as we hang on to the last holding spot for at least a point in the stages, as we got to approach Danica Patrick and try to pass her, hopefully before this stage is over, as Eric Jones tries to pass Joey Logano to get an extra point as the white flag in stage 1 is out, and we look to the inside of Danica Patrick now as we squeeze up a little bit. And on the exit of turn 2, pretty tight as we make a little bit of contact down the back straightaway going into turn 3. Clear Danica as she gets into the wall on the exit of turn 4. Now we will get P10 in the stage. I'm assuming that her getting into the wall was due to the contact we made down the straightaway, but it didn't really affect anything at all. But we do get the last point available in stage 1 as Jimmy Johnson was able to pull off the stage victory. So we're going to be starting on the outside here in stage 2, so hopefully we might be able to make it work, but I'm pretty doubtful at this point as we're ready to go green. And stage 2 is officially underway behind the 20 of Eric Jones as we have Joey Logano now on my inside. He clears me for a moment, and easily out of turn 2 we will slide down into the inside, a little bit loose on the exit of the corner, but no big deal as we have Paul Menard and Chase Elliott right behind us trying to run us down now as we got Jones and Logano side by side. As we go into turns 1, we're going to kind of just follow Logano as we get into the back of him, get him a little bit loose, and he's going to get very loose on the exit of turn 2, 3 wide for a brief moment as Jones gets clear of Logano and myself into turn 3, and now we kind of slide up in front of Logano for the position on the exit of the corner. We do get up to P9 for the moment now as we go into turns 1, trying to get under the 20 of Eric Jones as he's going to easily drive away on the exit of the corner and put a substantial gap between himself and I for the brief moment now as we come through turns 3 and 4 to finish the 3rd lap in stage 2 as he continues to drive away. But we do have a little bit of a gap between myself and Logano now, but now he really closes it up on the exit of turn 2. He's going to actually get under me now down the straightaway into turns 3. He's going to be very tight on my left door, and he does clear me on the exit of turn 4. At this point in the race, I'm really starting to think we might need to make some adjustments to the car when we get the chance, because it's not the fastest at all as we have Jones and Harvick battling side by side as we go into turns 3, and it looks like Logano might try and force it 3 wide as Harvick, he's going to back out after he gets into the wall, and Logano, he gets under him now going into turns 1 as Logano is on a little bit of a charge as we have Paul Menard, or no, not Paul Menard, Ryan Blaney get to my inside for a brief moment, but he is not able to stick alongside. And I'm saying the word brief a lot in this race because whenever someone gets alongside me, it does not last long at all. It's a pretty quick either pass or we get clear very quickly as Harvick is able to pass Eric Jones back. And the later we went in this run now to lap 10, we ran Joey Logano back down now on his inside as we go into turns 1. We try to slide up in front of him using a little bit of a slide job NASCAR style, and it does work for the moment. Now down the back straightaway, clear of Logano for P9 as Denny Hamlin gets to his inside, and we have a caution that is going to be the first yellow, and we do have a car smoking up ahead, and I'm assuming that is why we have the yellow and we decide to stay out. And you see up ahead, Clint Boyer's car is the one that's smoking as we get ready to go green. He is going to be way off the pace, the outside line, not going at all, and that's going to be a huge advantage to us on the inside as we go from P9 to P5 on the restart as Kyle Busch drives away from the lead position, and he has Martin Truex Jr. and Kurt Busch following through as me and Harvick kind of a little bit off that little pack, but it doesn't really matter. You see behind me, no one is even in sight. Jimmy Johnson's the closest car, and he's about 5 seconds behind, and we are already running down lap traffic due to Clint Bowyer holding up everybody so much. Now as we come through turns 3 and 4, he's continuing to stay on the track, and I'm assuming that they're hoping that this is going to be an issue that maybe resolves itself before this stage is over, because you'd think they would be coming into pit, but you do notice that the smoke is kind of going away, and I'm not sure where Clint Bowyer is in that pack, but down the straightaway it does once again appear as the lead drivers have caught the lap traffic. This is certainly a very odd scenario that I have not seen in a while. I've seen it before, but it's been quite some time as Harvick and Keselowski try to gain some ground on the outside of the line. Keselowski, he's not even on the lead lap. He's having a terrible race, and so is William Byron as Kyle Busch continues to work his way through the lap traffic. It certainly seems like Clint Bowyer has gained some speed. He seems to be up to speed with the other drivers at this point in the race. He just has a lot of smoke coming from the car as we get into the side of William Byron and almost wreck the car. Now we did lose a little bit of time now as we come to lap 25 of 28, 4 laps to go in stage 2. You see Jimmy Johnson was able to run me down from about 5 seconds behind, showing the pace that he has in this race as we come to 3 to go at the line in stage 2, as Johnson's going to try to look to my outside, but he's not able to make it happen as Austin Dillon a lap down is going to kind of block me into the corner, and Johnson, he finds a way to my inside as that car continues to smoke up ahead as we go into turn 3, trying to desperately hang on to get an extra point before the stage is over. And that's Alex Bowman who's smoking this time around, but he comes to pit road as Clint Bowyer, he never came to pit road, but Bowman does, and that might be it for him. He might be out of this race. So that's unfortunate for the number 88 car as we go into turns 3. Jimmy Johnson obviously was able to get by me for P5 as we come to the white flag in stage 2. A little bit of contact with the 3 of Austin Dillon, as once again in the last lap of the stage we end up finding Danica Patrick in turns 1 and 2 down the back straightaway. We're going to make a little bit of contact with her this time. Thankfully not. As we go into turns 3, we clear her with no problems at all. As we exit turn 4, we will finish stage 2 in the 6th position, as I believe Kyle Busch was leading earlier in the stage. I'm not sure if he was able to hang on to it, but we're about to find out as Daniel Suarez held on to the last position, and it was Kurt Busch who won the stage. And you notice Clint Bowyer, he's in the top 15 somehow as everyone's pitting, and so I decided, well, obviously we're going to pit, we're going to take 4 tires, and I decided to put the wedge down to 48.2, and then we did a right rear tire pressure adjustment and a right front tire pressure adjustment. We only lost 3 positions as a few guys gambled maybe on 2 tires as the green flag waves to start the final stage. Clint Bowyer, he actually gambled as well. He's up in the top 5 just about here on this restart. Certainly a bold move from the number 14 team, who was just a handful of laps ago in 2nd position, smoking from their engine, and they lost a lot of positions, but now once again they are clearly up to speed and they have a chance to maybe actually earn themselves a good finish out of this race as we make a lot of contact with Kurt Busch in the 41 car. Now as we send it in deep into turn 3, we do clear the 41 for the moment, as we're only about halfway through this race after stage 2, so there is still quite a ways of time to go. We got 59 laps remaining as Kyle Busch has found my back bumper as Clint Bowyer and Suarez battle side by side going into turn 3. We're going to force it 3 wide as we get into the side of the 14. That's not what I meant to do, but Suarez, he backed out of it and he has lost a few positions as Clint Bowyer clears me on the exit of the corner and was able to get past the 38 of David Reagan, as well as we exit turn 2 down the back straightaway into turn 3, trying to get to the inside of the 38 of Reagan. Surprisingly, he is up here this far, but we are able to get just about even with him as we cross the line into turn 1 now, and he is putting up a pretty large fight as we exit turn 2. We're not actually able to get by this guy for the moment as we send it in pretty deep into turn 3, and we slide up just enough for him to have to slow down now on the exit of 4 to the inside of Eric Jones as we go into turns 1, trying to gain another spot. And certainly it looks like at this moment the car is handling much better and it's much faster with the adjustments that we made as we force it 3 wide with Jones and Hamlin. Hamlin has to back out as we get by him, as we have 3 Joe Gibbs cars just surrounding us at that point in the race. But as the run went on to now we come to lap 76, still battling with Eric Jones in the 20 as we make a little bit of contact on the exit of turn 4, still trying to get past him, and we just did not have the speed to get past his car as we run P6 behind him as Brad Keselowski in the number 2 car slowly closes the gap on himself towards myself as he's trying to gain a few extra spots as we have just 48 laps to go in this race, as Kyle Busch is the guy behind Brad Keselowski, and we know Kyle Busch he was the fastest car earlier in this race, so we certainly know he's got some speed in the car, so he could be a threat here later on in this race as Logano loses a position to Eric Jones now. He drifts back to P5 as Jones works his way up to P4, and he now tries to pass Chris Buescher for P3. He has also had a very fast car in this race. I mean, every time we've seen him, he's been gaining positions. As we get to the inside of Logano, a little bit of contact on the exit of 4, and that's going to get him sideways into turns 1, and that's going to allow his teammate Brad Keselowski to my inside as we make a lot of contact down the back straightaway in the middle of a 3 wide. As we go into turns 3, even more contact. We go up the track into Logano, and we're loose, and now Kyle Busch gets him outside, and he hits the wall really hard. I'm not sure what just happened to him, but he completely lost the car, and that's going to bring out a caution. I really am not sure what happened to the 18. If you watch it back, we never touched him, and he just like lost the car and just went straight like he lost the right front tire or something. But that is going to completely knock him out of the picture in this race as we are ready to go green with Jimmie Johnson and Clint Bowyer leading the front row to green here with just 42 laps to go. We are able to slide into the inside in front of Joey Logano to get up into the top 5 position now as we get alongside Chris Buescher on the exit of turn 2 down the back straightaway as we send it in pretty deep into turns 3 and gain the position now up into the top 5 in Bristol. A pretty good spot to be in right now as we have approached the back of the 20 of Eric Jones. Logano continues to be right on my back bumper. He's been really fast, and him and Jones to me have stood out as the fastest cars right now, and he certainly, Logano, should be up front, but thankfully he is not. I think he could easily drive away at this point as he gets to my inside on the exit of turn 2. He makes a little bit of contact on my left door as he slid up into me as now Kevin Harvick tries to pass him on the inside as Jimmie Johnson loses the lead to Clint Bowyer down the front straightaway. Now as we approach lap 102 in this race, you see we drifted back a little ways down to P6. Suarez got into the top 5. Johnson lost the lead, and look behind me in my mirror, it's Kyle Busch still driving hard in this race, trying to get to my back bumper and pass me. He still has a chance to get a good finish here. It's not over yet. Into turns 3 and 4, you see that I once again, really on the long run, this car just did not have a lot of speed as we have just 22 laps to go in this race, and I certainly did not have a car capable of winning, but now we get a caution with Kevin Harvick currently leading. Kevin Harvick has failed to seal the deal several times this season, but now he has a chance to finally get to victory lane as we're only going to have like 15 to go as the green flag is back out. It's actually going to be about 19 laps to go as we have a chance to slide down in front of Suarez, so I take full advantage of that now as we have a chance to make something happen once again in Bristol. I think our best bet, if we want to even have a chance at winning this race, is we need a short run and we need to be restarting on the inside line as we now get up to P3 for the moment as Johnson battles hard on my outside, but we're going to send it in pretty deep and slide up in front of him just in time before he can get back into the throttle and get on my outside as Harvick and Jones drive away from the field. Eric Jones looking on the inside of Harvick down the straightaway. Is Harvick going to blow another victory in Bristol as he tries to hang on to the lead, but he's going to be unsuccessful as Jones gets the position down the straightaway as Clint Bowyer has caught me in my back bumper. We are not going to be able to hold on to this position for long as he looks to my inside down the front straightaway. We do have him clear for the moment as we try to cut him off going into turns 1, but you see how loose I'm getting now under braking on the entrance of the corner, but thankfully we are able to hold on to the position for the brief moment as Eric Jones now, who I said earlier clearly had a very fast car, he starts to drive away from the field as we've caught Kevin Harvick and we try to go to his inside in turns 1 and 2, and he's going to clear me with ease out of turn 2 as now we have, I believe, Kyle Busch, who's run into the top 5 behind us, but he gets forced out of a 3 wide, so he's going to lose a spot, unfortunately for him. But now as this run went on, we come to 4 laps to go in this race. We drifted back to P5. Jimmie Johnson got past me, as well as Clint Bowyer, which we knew was going to happen eventually in this race, as Kevin Harvick was able to retake the lead from Eric Jones. So Kevin Harvick currently leads with just 3 laps to go, and he has a good lead, so it's going to be very hard for him to blow it at this point as we are about to hit 2 laps to go, trying to hang on to a top 5 position. Johnson sits P4 trying to run down third place as Kurt Busch tries to get to me and pass me for P5. But we have just 2 to go as Kurt looks to my inside, but we shut the door before he can make a run happen up my inside now as we come through turns 3 and 4 to take the white flag. This time by Kevin Harvick, all he has to do is make it a few more corners as the white flag is out and we have smoke and we have a caution. A caution is out on the last lap and that's going to force overtime. Kevin Harvick is going to have to earn this victory now if he wants to get to the victory lane for the first time this season. We're starting on the inside. We could try something bold here and very ambitious and try to make a pass for the win as green flag is out. Overtime is underway. To the back of the 14 of Clint Bowyer, we're going to force a 3 wide up the inside of him and Jimmy Johnson as Jones loses some ground on the exit of turn 2. Him and Bowyer side by side into the wall they go, and we have nowhere to go, and we're going to pile in and hit the wall, and we are collected in a big crash down the back straightaway, and that's going to ruin our race as we drop outside the top 10. We will now go to a second overtime attempt as Bowyer and Eric Jones in our races are completely ruined. Bowyer is still up in P4 with a chance, but we have a lot of damage to the car as the green flag is out again as Kevin Harvick once again has a chance to close out a victory here in Bristol as we are certainly, I can feel it already that our car is not in very good shape, but Harvick drives away down the back straightaway as we go into turn 3. Harvick's pretty much got this race won as we get really loose on the entrance of the corner as Harvick takes the white flag in Bristol as we go way wide on the exit of turn 4. The car was really tight on the exit of the corner at this point as we are going to just get passed by several cars down the back straightaway as Harvick goes into turns 3 and turns 4 as we get into the wall one final time as we're going to come out of turn 4 alongside the 12 and hit the wall again and managed to finish 15th with a pretty beat up car after major overtime drama as Kevin Harvick finally closes the deal out and gets his first win of the season after really he should have at least 3 by this point. So it took him long enough and he's in victory lane now and we had a good run. We ran in the top 10 all race long and unfortunately a big incident at the end in overtime costed us a top 10 finish. So our top 10 streak ends, but oh well, we couldn't really do anything about it. We had nowhere to go as Eric Jones and Bowyer just got destroyed right in front of me, but we still had a good run. We made a lot of money and gained a lot of fans out of it still as we have over $13 million now.
It was a tough race. Hang in there. We'll get them next time.
I wouldn't really say that was a tough race, but it was a tough finish, I'll say that much. But we certainly have some drivers that think maybe I was a little too aggressive once again as we apologize to them all as we really do not need any rivals this early in the season like I've stated multiple times, and I accidentally chose the easy incentive contract thing because I was just hitting the A button and I looked through the teams that we had offers from and we did not have a 5-star team offer at the moment, so I decided to not choose a team or not contact a team yet. So that'll do it for this episode though. If you guys enjoyed, make sure to comment, like, subscribe. Those would all be incredibly appreciated, and I will see you guys in the next episode for Richmond, and there's your quick playoff look. So I'll see you guys next time. Thank you guys for watching and have yourselves a great day.